Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be playing a Grand Challenge live with 3.0 Expo Cycle. So as you all know, we are currently in Season 30, or Clashmas of Clash Royale, and the balance changes have just hit. Included in these balance changes was a nerf to the Tesla, which is arguably a huge and major component of any Expo deck, namely 3.0 Expo Cycle and Icebow. So I know a lot of you are upset about this nerf, as am I. I don't think it was a deserved nerf at all, to Expo decks in particular. It is not that slight, considering 9% is a decent amount. The nerf made the hit speed go from 1.1 seconds to 1.2 seconds per hit, and it also decreased the Tesla's overall DPS in turn. Although there's not much we can do about it, Expo has been nerfed many times in a row now. We had Tesla nerfed twice in a row, then Knight nerfed about 6 months back, and then we had the Expo itself nerfed about this time last year. It was labeled a rework, but I'm pretty sure we all know it was a nerf. But in any case, there's not much we can do about the changes other than try and adapt, as we always have. It will be harder to play, of course, and I think this nerf was quite bad for Expo overall. I don't think the deck will die, but I think it's definitely going to be less strong in the meta, and it'll be even higher skill cap to succeed with now. But I did also make a video showcasing the interactions between the Tesla, comparing it before the nerf and after the nerf, so I'll include that in the description as well if you'd like to check that out. But with all that being said, we're going to be playing a Grand Challenge today. I'm already at 8 wins and 2 losses, so it's do or die. But we're going to just be testing out the new Expo and seeing how much the nerf impacted it. So let's get right into the matches and hope we can do our best today. So we found our first match against a Japanese player. We're going to try and find out what he has. Just going to cycle an Ice Spirit at the bridge. Pretty low commitment, very safe play. He's not going to play anything. We're going to cycle skeletons. And looks like he's still not playing anything. So maybe a heavier deck, or he just doesn't want to cycle a card. I split my archers and he goes Baby Dragon, so we're going to go Expo immediately in the right lane. To try and find out what else he has. He's going to have a Golden Knight, so he might use the dash, in which case I'm going to go for a Knight. My Knight also tanks for the Barb Barrel, and as you guys know, Golden Knight and Bandit are both glitched right now, where their dash actually resets any targeting on them. So you might notice that the Expo was targeting the Golden Knight, but because of that glitch that still hasn't been fixed, it actually retargets from the card to the tower, which is pretty big. It's one of the good things for Expo right now against those two cards. Golden Knight is pretty annoying, but it is something we have. So he's going to go for a Goblin Cage, so he has Baby Dragon, Goblin Cage, Golden Knight, Ice Wizard, so I'm thinking maybe it's going to be a graveyard deck, but it could also possibly be a beatdown deck, like maybe E-Giant. I'm going to go for a Knight to pull the Baby Dragon into my Tesla, as he is going to end up having graveyard. I'm going to go for a log. I waited quite a bit on my log so that I could get a lot of value. He's going to go for a poison, and I think he's going to be pretty low on elixir, so I'm going to go for an Expo. Let's see if he has enough for a Golden Knight right now, and I was right, he actually didn't have enough, so that's perfect. We could Knight on this actually, but I don't think we even need to, considering Expo's still going to take tower, and then it's going to go onto the Golden Knight. So we haven't really used Tesla all that much this match so far, but haven't noticed too much of a difference. It is Graveyard, which is typically a really good matchup for Expo anyway. But we're just going to reset with a Tesla now and go for a low Knight. And I'm probably going to go for a defensive Expo. He's going to go for archers. Actually, I guess no point going for an Expo now, considering he already played his Graveyard, but defensive Expos can help out a lot against Graveyards. And they're also really good in this matchup for baiting out a poison, since the opponent's probably going to want to be poisoning your archers, which means he's not going to be able to do anything about the Expo. As you can see, my opponent just went for a poison on my archers because he wants tower damage, but he's not going to have anything for my Expo, which is just staying alive. So that's really good. I don't need to fireball that Ice Wizard, since I can just fireball when he plays something else in front of it. Looks like he doesn't even play anything in front. He goes for a last-ditch graveyard effort, which is not going to get him anywhere. And that's going to be a pretty nice first game against, I guess, Splashyard with Golden Knight instead of Knight. So pretty interesting, but pretty straightforward win. I didn't notice the Tesla too much there. In this matchup, usually you're going pretty aggressive and trying to take a tower, like I did early on there, partially thanks to the Golden Knight glitch as well. But Tesla isn't that big of a card in that matchup. It's pretty good, but I don't think the interaction changes graveyard matchups too much, so that's good news. Into the next match against Christopher. We don't exactly have the best hand, actually. No cycle cards and no log or anything, so we're just going to leak, and he goes for a Valk, so we'll just mirror it with a Knight of our own. Valkyrie could be a bunch of things. He goes Valk Baby Dragon, so maybe another graveyard deck, possibly. Not entirely sure, but I'm just going to go for a high Tesla, as he is going to Fireball it, and my Knight, which is decent value for him. But I'm going to go for an Xbow now, as he goes for a Barb Barrel and Mega on the Xbow. Really good skeletons by me, actually, because they kited the Baby Dragon into the other lane, which was really big. I didn't take any damage in the right, and he's going to have to respond to this Knight as well, and he does so with a Goblin Cage. So Goblin Cage was actually nerfed. Unfortunately, I think we are going to have to use our archers here, because log won't fully counter the Goblin Brawler, and if we went for a log, we don't have anything else in cycle other than archers anyway. So we're going to have to be pretty careful if this is going to be a graveyard deck, which I think it is. And we're not going to go in or anything. We're going to try and get back to archers if he builds a bigger push. But yeah, he just resets with a Valk and Baby Dragon. I believe Tesla will actually target the Baby Dragon first. And he goes for a graveyard now, so we're going to go for a Knight, wait a bit, and then go for a log, and then we're back to our archers. So we'll see if he has any spells for it. Looks like he doesn't, or he just didn't want to overcommit, which is fair. I could actually Xbow right now, but he's going to have a Goblin Cage in cycle. He might respond to these archers anyway, as he does, so now that he responded, we're going to go for an Xbow and see how he's going to counter our Xbow. There's the Goblin Cage, and I believe he's not back to Valk, or he was, but he went for a Baby Dragon instead, which means we get a decent connection. We're going to have to go for a Knight on this Brawler, and we have to be careful of the graveyard push in the left now, so we're going to actually go for an Xbow. Since he's going to be forced to respond, we're going to go for a late log on the graveyard, and then archers. We're actually going to take quite a bit of damage, but we're going to get a big block of our own, and going to try and keep up the pressure as much as possible. Not going to respond to anything there, since I don't really need to worry about tower damage on the right. I honestly should have protected my Xbow with skeletons, not sure why I didn't. That was kind of a mistake by me. But we can possibly force something out here. We're going to go for Knight and then Fireball and everything, which should get us a connection, as it does, and that actually might be game. Goes for a Fireball, but it's not enough, and I believe we can cycle back to a Fireball, and actually log is going to be enough. So that was a pretty good win again. Not the cleanest though. I probably should have protected my Xbow better when I took that huge amount of damage with that tower trade. I'm playing against a lot of graveyard decks, surprisingly, but none of them with Tombstone. Tombstone was also buffed, which is interesting to see, I guess, since people don't really want to try it out, but I think that new Tombstone's actually really strong. So that's interesting, but yeah, I also think maybe I over-defended my Xbow the first time around, which is why I got into such an awkward cycle against the Valk, and had to waste everything on my Knight on the Goblin Brawler. But in any case, we were still able to come out with the win, so we're at 10 wins now. Let's keep it going, and we find a match against Phil the Star from Stars, so we're going to find out what he has. I do actually recognize the name, kind of, but I don't know what he has, so we'll play it all the same. He's not going to play anything into skeletons, so we'll just split archers and see what he wants to do. He's going to go for a Golden Knight. We're actually going to Xbow, find out what deck he has exactly. It could be a P.E.K.K.A deck, maybe. He's actually going to go for Miner and Poison, so it's going to be maybe a Miner Poison cycle deck with Golden Knight. I believe this deck also ran Tesla, so interesting to see someone is still using it. I guess we have to wait to find out what the full deck is, but usually they have Tesla, Delivery, Mega Minion, so we'll find out if it's the same deck. And it is looking like it's going to be a fast cycle Miner deck. Him having log isn't the best in terms of spell cycle, but it is pretty good for us He goes for a Tesla in the left, predictively I guess, but that wasn't really good by him. I'm going to go for Ice Spirit and then Skeletons to retarget, and we can get a small connection possibly. Tesla actually comes up, so it's going to be not going to get any damage there, but we're still fine. I think this matchup is pretty good for us. On paper, it seems really bad actually, since he has Minor Poison, Fast Cycle with Tesla and Golden Knight, which Golden Knight just shuts everything down. But what we do have going for us is the Golden Knight glitch. And I know it's not really great to rely on a glitch, but if it wasn't for that glitch, this would probably be a pretty hard counter. So it's gonna help us out here. He's gonna go for a Golden Knight, so we're gonna go for an Xbow, and I think Tesla too, because he might go for a Tesla of his own. He doesn't actually have any tanks for my Xbow right now, since he wasted his Golden Knight, kind of. So we're gonna go for Skellies to tank for the Tesla, and then Log to finish it off, and we do get a connection, which is perfect. He's gonna go for a Miner and late Log, but we can actually reset with an Xbow. We just have to be careful of if he wants to predict it. So we're gonna wait till we have enough for Knight, and see what he wants to do. He's gonna go for a weird Tesla. That wouldn't actually hit my Xbow, so interesting that he wanted to go for that, I guess. He's gonna go for Delivery and Miner now, so Xbow's dead. We're just gonna let it die. He might go for the dash, and somehow that still dashes on the tower. That's actually really unfortunate. His range is really unpredictable, honestly. We're gonna go in the left, since he's probably expecting us to go on the right. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think he has anything. He does have a Golden Knight, I guess, but yeah, that was a really aggressive prediction by him. We're gonna log the Golden Knight back to maximize our Xbow lock. He has to go for a high poison, which is great since it doesn't hit our tower. And I think we're in a really good spot here. He's gonna go for a Mega Minion, so I think we're just gonna Tesla. He might go for a Tesla of his own. We'll see, he does. So we're gonna go for a Knight and then Xbow now. He's gonna go for a Golden Knight. And he was smart to go for a Miner before using the ability, since if he used the ability, it would have activated the glitch, and we would have locked on the tower. We're actually just going to reset and keep the pressure up. He predicts our Xbow, but thankfully we went for a Knight first. He might go for the Golden Knight's ability here. And I knew he was going to go for a Miner in that position, because that position takes the Xbow's targeting, if you guys didn't know. So if the opponent's going for aggressive Miners while you have an Xbow push like that, they're probably going to go for it in that range. We're actually just going to Fireball now, especially because I thought he would predict with a Tesla. And he's going to go for a Golden Knight, we'll go for a Knight. And Ice Spirit, since Skeletons are kind of annoying. And Xbow will help against the Miner as well. We're going to Fireball again. Our opponent is getting quite a bit of damage on our tower, but I believe we're going to be able to out-damage him. We're going to go for a Knight far away from our Tesla, just so that he gets no value from the dash. And we're going to go for a Fireball, and I believe we just need one more Fireball now. So we're going to go for a Knight at the bridge to block anything, cycle back to a Fireball, and that's going to be a pretty nice win against Golden Knight Minor Poison Control. So I would say that is a pretty bad matchup. If it wasn't for the glitch. I know I said it like twice already, but the glitch basically single-handedly makes it so they can't just go for Golden Knight to tank for your Xbow, because they're probably going to want to use the ability, and if they do, you'll get a connection. So just play it similar to how I did. Don't fall for prediction Teslas. Useful to know how to track your opponent's cycle, so that you can know if he has Tesla in cycle and he's going to go for it or not. But yeah, pretty decent win. We're at 11-2 now, so next game we'll decide if we get the 12 or if we choke at 11-3, which would be really unfortunate, but we'll find out, as it's taking quite a bit to find the next match, but that's okay. I might have to cut if it takes too long, but we'll see. Alright, and we finally found a match after about a minute straight of searching, so I'm definitely going to cut that out so you guys don't have to see it, but we're in the match against CMG x Pedro 15. As he's going to have Wallbreakers, so this could be a bunch of things. I'm hoping it's not Goblin Drill Cycle, and it's going to be Miner. And unfortunately we are going to have to Fireball these bats because we don't have Archers in cycle. So a bit awkward, but we didn't really have a choice. So it's going to be Miner Wallbreakers with bats. So I guess we'll find out which version it is exactly, but it would be better for us if he has Magic Archer. although I don't think he does, given the fact that he has log and bats, but we'll see. He goes for a Dart Gob, so I guess he's testing out the new Dart Goblin. I'm personally not looking forward to playing against this, because I think the new Dart Goblin is incredibly strong. He's going to go for Wallbreakers, but thankfully the Dart Goblin gets targeted by the Tesla first. And we're going to go for an Xbow. He has Golden Knight. Okay, so this is actually looking pretty unfortunate, because he's going to have Golden Knight and Dart Goblin. I guess it depends on his spell, though. But I feel like it's probably going to be Fireball. He's going to go for a Minor Bat, so we'll go for an Ice Spirit to hopefully freeze all the bats. Perfect. And just reset with archers in the back. So Dart Goblin's going to be pretty threatening, honestly. He got a 9% damage buff, I believe, which is huge. We're going to go in, because I don't think he's back to his Golden Knight yet. He's back to it now. And he goes for the dash. But, again, the glitch that I was talking about came into play there. And I logged the Wallbreakers back, and we actually get a huge connection. So we're going to predict his Dart Goblin now, as we get it, which is really good. I knew that my opponent was roughly on the same amount of elixir as me, so that's why I went for that prediction, and our opponent's actually going to give up, which is really good for us. I do have to be careful of if he's like pretending to give up, but okay, looks like he's not. So good game. Really glad we were able to get the 12 win, honestly. So we caught our opponent in kind of a weird spot. I guess we'll go over the replay to see exactly how that went down. But let's just focus on the 3 crown for now. So we're going to go for an Xbow on the King Tower. Very rare sight. And that is going to be the 12 win. So 3 crown there for a nice 12 wins. But yeah, about that match, I feel like this... Again, I guess it's like the minor poison one, where on paper it seems really bad for Xbow, especially because he has a really fast cycle, he has bats, which are problematic, he has the Golden Knight, which is really good against Xbow on defense. Like, against Xbow's defense, and he has the newly buffed Dart Goblin, but I guess the fact that he has Golden Knight as his main tank means that he can't really rely on it for Xbow defenses, especially in single elixir, which is why we were able to get a huge lock there. And then we did also get that really nice prediction against the Dart Goblin for the connection, and he gave up after that. So here was pretty unfortunate that we had to go for Fireball on the bats. I believe he even gave the hog thinking emote, because, yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. But we did what we had to do. Now we split archers, and I guess I'll fast forward a bit. So here it was pretty lucky, actually, that the Dart Goblin got killed by the Tesla before the Wallbreakers. I thought that they would tank for it, and that would have been awkward. Here I went for an Xbow, and you can see that I didn't really support my Xbow with anything, since I wanted to find out what he had. Like, find out what his tank was, what his main Xbow counters were, and I found out exactly that, since he went for both a Golden Knight and Bomb Tower. And right here, you'll see that I was actually up 5 elixir, so I kind of had a feeling that I was up that much, which is why I went in, since he wasn't playing anything into my split archers. So here I go in. He doesn't have enough for a Bomb Tower. I think he probably should have waited on the dash and then went for a Bomb Tower, but this log and skeletons was perfect. Wallbreakers didn't hit my Xbow. If they did, he probably still would have been in the game. And I predicted the Dart Goblin, which was just really good, and I believe he gave up at this point. Yeah, so just really good awareness, I would say. Not trying to show off or anything, but just rather explain how I was able to win that by being aware of my opponent's cycle, of his elixir, and capitalizing on my punish. But yeah, that's going to be a really nice 12 win. Let's open the chest up, see what we get. I have a lot of gold because I don't really upgrade things on this account. I was actually thinking of using it for possibly a mid-ladder series. We do get a legendary from the chest, which is great. Lava Hound, unfortunately, but still nice to get a legendary and pretty decent chest. But yeah, nice 12 win. I believe that's 3 12 wins in a row now in terms of the 12 wins that I've played on the Grand Challenges that I've played on this account. So hopefully we can keep that streak going. But yeah, about the Tesla, honestly speaking, in my matches today, I didn't notice any changes significantly. I feel like the nerf, they said that the purpose of the nerf was to make it worse against longer and bigger pushes, which I think it's definitely going to do. Against, for example, Golem or Lava Hound matchups, I think the nerf will be a lot more noticeable since they generally have bigger pushes, and you kind of have to worry about that more, where the DPS will be more of a factor. But so far today, I was pretty happy with how we did, and I think we got pretty decent matchups overall. The two Graveyard ones are pretty good, and this was just a pretty good game overall, regardless of the matchup. And Minor Poison again, single-handedly because of the Golden Knight glitch. It is Xbow is one of its only counters, I believe. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. Let me know what you thought about it, if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed the video with commentary. Always looking to improve, so if you have any feedback, that would be great too. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the Tesla nerf too, because I know a lot of you were upset about it, and rightfully so. So let me know what you think about Xbow, the future of Xbow. Will you personally still be playing Xbow? And if you think the nerf was big, or maybe not as big as some people are making it out to be. But yeah, that's about it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.